It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him.
It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism.
What he means by pessimism is resistance. And that's what COINTELPRO was all about, stopping the resistance.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change.
We hide it in plain sight. One of Plato's greatest works was the allegory of the cave. I feel in order to understand the political matrix, we need only to look into this allegory. We first have to open our minds to the possibility everything is not as it seems. That things we've always known to be truth may be lies. For if we can't perceive the lies we've ingested, we can't see the bars on our mental conditioning. For that is how you walk out of the cave and see the political matrix. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Political Matrix. I'm your host, Marcus Morpheus Cage, and we got an interesting show. Definitely want to talk about Trump and the stuff going on with Palantir. This new VO3 AI is, mind-bending. Some of the stuff they're able to create. Talked about it a little bit on Steve's show, AM Wake Up. I was on there last Monday, and went into it, and I've been seeing more and more videos, so it's a couple of things I want to share with you guys about that. What else did I have in the title? I'm blanking. Let me double check to see what I had in the title. Oh, that's right. Of course, we're going to do an update on Diddy, and we're going to talk a little bit about the tariff stuff. Tariffs have been threatening to be back on. There's retaliatory tariff stuff being talked about. A judge has come in and put a stop on it, and another judge came after that. So we got a bunch of different things we're going to talk about. But before we hop into that stuff, I saw a couple of other stories that really caught my attention, and I felt like I just wanted to bring awareness to them. One of these stories, I don't know how I missed it. This is something that was it came out like 2 years ago. And I felt like, you know what? If I didn't hear it, there's a possibility that other people didn't hear it. That's right. Let me share the comments on the screen. But before we get into any of that, I want to make sure to say hello to all my guests who are out here. I see Warren, Extra Bullet is in the building. Yonina is here. John Kemper is here. Abundance Protocol is here also. And then it says they found the body of a missing black man. I'll have to look into that. Can they create some jobs with AI? It took mine. Yes, they definitely can create some jobs with AI. And shout out to whoever gave me the thumbs up over there on the Facebook side. Wait a minute, I'm showing the comments. For some reason, it's not showing. Let me click that again. That's weird. I can see the little hologram on the side, but it's not showing the comments for some reason. Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll catch up, or maybe it's just a glitch that they're still having. We'll see if Till joins us. Don't know for a fact, but I definitely did send her a link. She could be having internet issues or whatever. So I don't know. In the meantime, we're going to go on ahead and just hop on to one of my first stories that I have that I want to share with everybody. Let's see which one. Oh, I'm going to start with this story, and it might kind of start on a more morbid note because I had this story in the docket, but I forgot to share it last week. So I'm going to start off with this story. It was kind of a little dark, but former Harvard morgue manager pleads guilty to trafficking stolen human remains. See, so from Scranton, the United States Attorney Office for the Middle District of Pennsylvania announced as Cedric Lodge, age 57, of Goffstown, New Hampshire, pled guilty yesterday before Chief United States District Judge Matthew W. Brand to interstate transport of stolen human remains. According to the acting United States Attorney General, Gerganis, Lodge admitted that from 2018 through at least March 2020, so it seems like that was during the pandemic or up until the pandemic, yeah. He participated in the scale and interstate transport of human remains stolen from Harvard Medical School morgue located in Boston, Massachusetts. Lodge, who was then employed as the manager of the Harvard Medical School morgue, removed human remains, including organs, brain, skin, hands, faces, dissected heads, and other parts from donated cadavers after they had been used for research and teaching purposes. But before they could be disposed of, according to the anatomical gift donation agreement between the donor and the school, Lodge took the remains without the knowledge or permission of his employer, the donor, or the donor's family, and transport the remains to his home in New Hampshire. After he and his wife, Denise Lodge, sold the remains, they would ship the remains to the buyers in other states, or other buyers would take possession directly and transport the remains themselves. Remains stolen and sold by Lodge were transported from the morgue in Boston to locations in Salem, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania. Lodge admitted to having sold remains to Joshua Taylor, Andrew Asanium, among others. Many of the remains purchased from Lodge were resold for profit, including to Jeremy Pauley, who previously entered a guilty plea to conspiracy and interstate transportation of stolen human remains. Yeah, this story gets like really dark. Let's skip ahead. Let's say, additionally, Candace Chapman Scott, who stole remains from an Arkansas crematorium where she was employed and sold them to Pauley in Pennsylvania, entered a plea of guilty in Arkansas federal court and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. The case was investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and United States Postal Inspection Service and the East Pennsboro Township Police Department. Assistant U.S. Attorney Allison Martin is prosecuting the case. So I just wanted to share that this is something that is going on, as disturbing as it is, and we don't know the full extent to how much of this is actually going on. That's obviously two cases right there. You have this guy in Boston, you have this other one, I believe it was Arkansas. So this is something that's going on. So when you have anybody who's donating organs and stuff, keep that in mind, that crazy shit like this can be happening. Oh, that's right. I'm still within my early part. Crazy stuff. Saludos. Shout out to Chamonique out there. It says, saludos, Marcus. I am Chamonique. Boom, 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 boom. And I guess Atres is in the buildings. Oh, there he is. So glad to see you all in the building. I just wanted to share that story real quick, get that out of the way. But started off with a little darker, crazy story because we didn't get that one out. And I will raise you a story that's lighthearted and makes me feel a little good. Well, I guess I could bring up this one too, which is pretty cool. Actually, no, I'm gonna skip to this story because this story, when I saw it, made me feel good that people are out there doing stuff like this. So after graduating, teen rushed to help co-workers at Burger King. An inspired mom helped raise $20,000 for his college expenses. So I guess there's a little video. Let's click.
Michael Baker graduated from high school. He was okay. Let's talk about this. The community banding together tonight to help a recent Gwinnett County High School graduate to the tune of $20,000. Okay, so after Michael Baker graduated from high school, he was actually behind the counter at Burger King. He clocked in for a late night shift to help since the restaurant was so busy. Well, Maria Mendoza had just come from seeing her daughter graduate, and she saw him at the drive-thru. That's when she decided to start a GoFundMe to help him out for college.
The next night, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna post it on TikTok without even thinking about it. Put my phone next to the nightstand. I went to sleep, and when I woke up, it was like blown away. And so my daughter Jasmine was like, "Mom, you should do a GoFundMe."
I feel happy. Like, I just want to say thank you to like my parents and all the people that see the good in me and that believed in me and that really donate all the money to me, honestly.
We love to see it. Michael was planning to take a gap year and then go to the military. But being that they were able to raise more than $20,000, those plans, he says that they're changing.
Wonder what's next for this young man. Maybe he's thinking about school now.
Maybe.
Which I really hope that he does. And the channel I saw that on is the Alive News. But I really hope that he does take the opportunity to just go straight to college. I know a lot of times it can be tough to go to college once you take that break. And hopefully this young man does not waste his time going into the military and hop straight into school. Hopefully more people can donate to, helping this kid go to school, whatever college money he may or may not need. You said you told her to show up. All right. Well, I mean, we'll see. So, I hopefully he does not go in there, especially with the climate of things going on right now. The world is a tinderbox, and you don't know what can possibly come about. I mean, I was just talking with this with one of my friends who I work with. He's former military also, and he spent his time, a big chunk of his time on a ship stationed in the area near Taiwan and stuff like that. And so he was like, he thinks China could be the tripwire. I think the Middle East could be the tripwire, and I think that also is because that's more the area that the stuff that I was doing had to do with, in areas that I was near and in and stuff like that. I'll leave it, as vague as possible. But you do have anything could go crazy with the whole Russia-Ukraine thing and something into Europe that could trigger another war. Keep in mind the recognized 2 world wars, both are, European in nature. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that World War III could end with some kind of something goes a little too far with Russia and Ukraine and triggers in, bringing the Europeans in, which drags in the Americans, like what typically happens. It's normally Europe, and then it drags America into it. That could be one trip hazard. It could be something that happens in Southeast Asia where something gets going with China, Taiwan. We already know that there's the stuff with the microchips for semiconductors. That's the name I was thinking. So probably got to drink a little bit more of my coffee and I'll get warmed up. But with the semiconductors and Taiwan and things like that, that's a possibility right there. I always throw in North Korea. You never know. I mean, granted, we always think, oh, we don't have to worry about North Korea, but it seems like they're itching to jump on the side of somebody who's ready to start something. I mean, keep in mind, we do have North Korean troops, admittedly now, who are fighting on behalf of Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine could go too far and do something, and that could trigger a response from Russia for them to ratchet things up. Or Europe just in general could see that the way that things are going on with Ukraine, how badly they're losing, that they want to up the proxy war in a sense, and stop funneling money and actually start sending in more troops and getting more involved. You also have the possibility of, I mean, I say a distant possibility, but you still have the back and forth that go on between Pakistan and India. You have the beefs between China and India. I mean, so all of these different things are at play. and that's not even getting into one of the most contentious and what I believe is the most probable tripwire that they have to worry about. This stuff going on with Israel, whether it be whatever the conflict, whether it be the conflict that they have going on, and the genocide that they're committing in Gaza and in Palestine, whether it be some kind of something that comes about from their warring with Lebanon and Syria and all of these other countries they're involved in, whether it's something that happens from pushing out the Palestinians into a third country and that triggers a reaction in that country. I mean, there's just so many tripwires that I see. And so I look at the possibility of going into war, wrapping it back around to that young man thinking about taking a year off in the military. He could go into the military and end up within one of these crazy situations. So prayers to him, definitely. Hopefully he does not take that break year. Plus, some kids take that break year and then get busy into working. And say, for instance, the situation with your family changes up. Now your mom needs you to work, mom, dad, wherever, needs a little extra money coming in. So you may have to work or pick up more shifts, and that can make it harder for you to get into school. So hopefully, like, his school and college and everything is able to be taken care of, and he gets to school. That's where we would preferably want that young man, in my opinion. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. I see Dingo is in the building. What's up, Dingo? Yonina says, I'll throw in a valid wild card. Turkey is where it begins because there's stuff with the war happening there too. I could see that. I mean, it would have to be some rogue element because the population in Turkey wants a more of a response to push back against what's happening to the Muslim brothers and sisters that are happening in Gaza and happen in various other parts of the so-called Middle East. But their leaders are, I don't know if it's live in a sense of fear that they don't want to do something, or if they're just trying to play both sides of the fence. So we'll figure out exactly what that is. I don't know, but it's one of the others. As John says, it's dangerous enough on these streets. Let's see. Solar storms this week could disrupt satellites. Comms, etc. G3 to G4 out of 5. Level plasma injections from the sun. I don't know. That adds a whole nother thing that could be going on, which have not factored in. I see Thomas is in the building. What's up, Mr. Thomas, Oklahoma? I see Wesley is in the building. Glad to see you. So let's get on to another story, which that one was a feel-good story, which I don't know. I always find a way of bringing up the other sides of it, but can't help it. That's the way my brain works, I guess. Let's see. This one I saw. Yeah, this one is the one that I said that I saw this a couple of years. Well, I just recently saw this. This story came out a couple of years ago. So I want to share with you all because if I haven't seen it, more than likely other people haven't seen it. Some of you guys might be ahead of me and already know about this, but figured I just wanted to share this.
No one likes to charge them.
Okay, so here we go.
Now you have two options.
So this is Derek Automotive is looking to change the world. First EV, one EV at a time. So let's get into his story.
Charge. If you happen to be at home, certainly you're welcome to plug our car in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need to hop in your car and take an emergency drive down to your kid at college,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 500 miles away, with my generator in that car, you don't have to stop for a charging station.
Hey, it's Miguel Lloyd, and I have the pleasure here today to sit down and talk to Mr. Derek Bailey with Derek Automotive Technologies, brother.
My
Good
pleasure,
to see
my
you,
friend.
man. Absolutely. And so, had the pleasure of coming by here and seeing this technology a few weeks back. I said, I got to come back here. We got to grab some cameras. We got some stories to tell.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I walked in and I saw this beautiful car and I said, hold on. All right. And they said it's a Black-owned electric car company called
Avani.
Tell us about your vision and what you're doing here in this industry.
Oh, well, actually, we're trying to transform the industry. I mean, basically, electric cars are great, except for one little thing. No one likes to charge them.
Right.
So originally, we created and received a patent for a new type of generator motor.
Okay. Tell us about that motor.
Basically, it's a 53% efficient motor as compared to a traditional engine, which is about 22% efficient. Okay. So when you burn more of the fuel, then you produce less of a carbon footprint.
Got it.
So the first goal is to reduce the carbon footprint. And then we use that motor to convert fuel to electricity to recharge the batteries in the electric cars. Now you have two options to charge. If you happen to be at home, certainly you're welcome to plug our car in. But if you need to hop in your car and take an emergency drive down to your kid at college, and it's 500 miles away, with my generator in that car, you don't have to stop for a charging station.
So we're sitting here with Greg Coles, president of Retro by Exceeder. Is that correct?
So let's pause that and bring Till up. Till is here. Hopefully she's ready. You ready? Okay.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, I didn't want to bring you up if you weren't ready yet.
Nah, I got a multitask. I got a cake due today.
No, okay.
So I'm making a little smash cake for a little birthday kid that I like.
All right. Did you hear anything about this story?
I saw the article of the Black company that has the electric car, but I'm scared because I feel like they might treat that man like every other Black person that's made something groundbreaking. But Moses is still living, the man that made that air water generator, so maybe they won't kill him. You know, they killed that last dude in that New York shooting. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what the motive now is just like completely bury them, you know, as far as not being able to really find them in the algorithms and things like that. So
Most definitely. So then you can't miss them when they get murdered.
Or you won't know about them to try to search after them. I mean, to try to buy the product either.
Facts.
I mean, one of the biggest way of keeping a company down is no advertisement. I mean, like I would say all the time with politics, one of the biggest reasons I would say like you're not going to have, like, I know as much as people think about independent candidates and, you know, oh, well, we just want to get somebody who's just going to run. And the reason why that's not going to work unless you have billions and billions of dollars to command the attention is one of the biggest components to you get elected in office is name ID. If you do not have massive name ID, you will not get elected.
Nope.
So you got to have massive name ID, and you have to have a certain amount of media. Donald Trump, his first time around, got elected by getting a lot of free media. Granted, a lot of that media was negative. Doesn't matter. It still gets the name out there, and other people will make their own decisions, especially if they dislike the media who was putting it out, good or bad, what they say. All right. So I guess I'll share a little bit more of this video. Where to go? Back up. Let's play a little more.
All right, and so Retro by Exceeder is your division of Derek Automotive Technology that does what?
Retro by Exceeder is the division that converts existing gas-powered cars into electric.
And so tell us about how this came about. You know, what we see all the time is there's always a bunch of cars. People sit in them for 10 years. They get tired of them, or they have too many things happen with the car. This breaks down, that breaks down. Next thing you know, you're back at the dealership buying it all over again. But you're
Exactly.
saying there's some nice bodies cars out there in the market that you can take, convert them to electric, and keep those things on the road for the foreseeable future.
Oh, millions.
Yeah.
There's millions of them. Just take your insurance companies. They've got 3 million flood cars sitting around alone. What we're able to do is take these cars, rip out all of the gas components, everything that's either gas or diesel. We take all of those out, and we put in electric components, and we essentially turn this into an EV. And the advantage to that is, and a huge part of my job in converting these cars is education. And part of that education is just letting people know what advantages there are to driving an EV. And the advantages to an EV are, number one, cost of ownership and maintenance. In an EV, there's no transmission, there's no oil changes, there's no belts or hoses. You get in the car and you go. In the average car, there's 4,000 moving parts. In an EV, there's 400 moving parts.
Wow, 10%.
10%, most of which are suspension related. So it's your suspension, your turning, your handling, things like that. So as far as when it comes to a motor in an EV, it's got your commutator or your rotor and your stator. That's it. And of course, you have your gear reduction, but those are just fixed moving gears. But the big picture is when you drive an EV, because there's such little moving parts, such little maintenance, such little fuel cost, because it costs about $1 to charge an EV. If you go in DC fast charge an EV, it costs you about $7 at the most. And that depends on the convenience of the charger.
And so $7, and it may take you 400 miles, 500 miles on one charge, or $70 to fill a premium, or up to 100 if you got, and it may take you 300 miles. Hey, y'all, welcome to the future. All right, so we're here with Michael Miles, man.
All right, so if you guys want to check out the rest of that video, it's Derek Automotive is looking to change the world one EV at a time. And hopefully I can find out where they are. I would like to possibly, look at, the possibility of doing some of that EV stuff also. I mean, think about how much money you'd save from all the maintenance of belts and oil changes and a lot of those different things. I imagine also with the EV motor, car's going to be a lot lighter.
Yep.
So there's just a lot of things that you can change and not have to be dealing with. So that's a definite advantage, I would say. Shout out to Chuck's Intergalactic UFO Show also joining us. Selling EV as the move. Let's see, what did Abundance say? Selling EV as the move is the wrong play and a huge flag, but I see the spirit of their vision. I don't know. Enlighten me. Why do you say that is a huge flag and the wrong play? Because it looks like what I see now is more of the companies are going towards more and more parts to add to the car. And so by adding more and more parts, especially dealing with adding more computerized parts, it makes it seems like you're going to have to go to a dealership to deal with more and more of the car versus being able to fix it on your own. And that is one of the issues that I have with a lot of the newer cars. What about you two?
Yeah, because I know that the wheels itself are like super fucking expensive on some electric vehicles, especially like Teslas. Like a lot of them have computerized wheels themselves, and they're like $600-800 wheels. So if they found a way to fix that, as well as the intermediate charging. I know I had a Tesla. I rented a Tesla for like 2.5 weeks, and finding a fast charging station when you got something to do or where to go, that's it's a headache. And then just sitting there waiting at some charging stations, sometimes they're not even at gas stations, or they're in like the middle of fucking nowhere. So like we have nothing to do but sit outside your car and wait, So I hope that they're fixing a lot of the issues that people were arising with the first round of electric vehicles. I'm just a little worried. I guess the only thing I would really be worried about is their competition with that Chinese electric car. You know what I'm saying?
The BYD, but that's the thing. I don't know. Well, that's one thing that's interesting. If tariffs continuously go up, which we'll talk about tariffs later, if tariffs become an issue, then it can be just cheaper for people to just say, well, I don't know. Never mind. Scratch that idea altogether. I just think that I don't see a reality, no matter which president it is, whether it's under Donald Trump, whether it is under another Republican later, whether it's under a Democrat, whoever. I don't see any reality where they're going to even the playing field and let BYD come in this country.
Oh, that's dead.
That's what I say. So unless you are in another country or unless somehow BYD, I don't know, sells part of, they'd have to like almost sell it to another country or sell part of it to another country and get licensing off of it and make money somehow like that. I don't know. Oh, Thomas says your cake looks good.
Thanks, boo. It's gonna get smashed up anyway. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I be doing this thing. Me and this cake thing, that's my jams.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a science. Well, another thing that I would say that I like about the whole idea about the EV thing, he's talking about that he could take pretty much most cars out there and be able to convert them. And you don't have to have one that looks like a Tesla. You don't have to have one that look, because a lot of these EV vehicles, a lot of them kind of look a little similar.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be able to go and get, a car that you might like a little bit more. Maybe you want to do
I like Volkswagens. I'm a Volkswagen person.
I'm saying you might want to convert a Volkswagen. You might want to do an Audi. You might want to go for, you might want to take a Corvette or something. And I'm not talking about a newer one, maybe an older one. You might take your 85 Vet and decide you want to do that. You might decide to take, old Camaro or something and switch it up. And so I don't know. I don't know the whole science behind all that, but I think that it's definitely something we should always keep our mind and our mind open to. All in one way is just into different control systems, just up, down, left. Yes. We need simplified EVs and get away from Teslas. Yes, we need something to. That's probably also why we hear nothing about this car. They don't want anything.
Shit. Nah, Tesla. You mean shit? Elon had to go back to work any goddamn way, so we gonna see what the fuck that motherfucker got going on.
Well, it doesn't matter what Elon does, whether he goes back to the company or not. I think he's already done enough damage. I mean, so I guess that's a good transition point. We could talk about Elon because now Elon is out from Doge.
Yep.
Rondo is in the building. What's up, Rondo? With him being out from Tesla, I mean not Tesla, but him going back to Tesla and being out from Doge, what do you think is going to be the difference with Doge?
Shit, nothing. You only got Elon out. You know what I'm saying? The only person missing is Elon. The rest of them motherfuckers still in there.
Yeah, but it don't seem like they've been doing shit anyway.
They were wasting money.
I mean, if they are doing anything, I really think that all they're doing is basically collecting data, which leads to something else, which kind of want to talk about a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Before I get into that, I just think that it's not going to be much of anything. I don't think they're going to make much of a difference into anything. So let's hop on to, man, I'm kind of floating through these couple ones good because I can get to the bigger shit. This one, I don't know if you saw this story, but it caught my attention. And I've been wondering how long before something like this actually happens. Oreo maker Mondelez sues Aldi, alleging grocery chain copies its packaging to confuse customers.
Ooh, I love Aldi though.
But they're not the only ones that do this. How many times have you seen in these different chain grocery stores where they got their off-brand product that looks very similar to their original product?
Always. We've been eating black cookies for how long?
Well, I don't know. My grandparents, they were like real big on brand names.
Well, you also got to understand, like Oreo is the only cookie company like that uses real cocoa powder.
The
other ones don't. That's why Oreos are like one of a kind. They're black because they use actual like cocoa powder.
I mean, even look at it. They use the same exact coloring. They use even like to the label, like the company, the Nabisco is similar to whatever this is, Benton's. In the way where they have it sitting in the corner, the way they package the nutritional data right there on the front.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way the Chips Ahoy, the way it kind of more circular and rounded, what they do with the C down here in the middle of the chocolate and how the L has that little curvature to it also.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Chips Ahoy, how it kind of rounds, they put a lowercase up under it, but they round it, and using the combination of the blue and the hints of red. And then this one, I mean, come on. The font is very similar also.
I mean, it's cool to be imitated, but you can't be duplicated. Do they got the recipe? Now, if they got the recipe, that's a different story, but I mean, you're going to be mad. What you mad about? You mad because somebody got your... But you going to be Frank Lucas and be mad because they're making new blue magic?
Well, I mean, hey, if they feel like a couple people get fooled, then I get why they would be pissed off to lose.
Lower your prices so that people ain't got to go to Aldi then.
That's a point also.
Don't make it so that motherfuckers can't, you know what I'm saying, get the shit.
Yeah, this is the case they lay out. It says snack food maker Mondelez International is suing the Aldi supermarket chain, alleging the packaging for Aldi store brand cookies and crackers blatantly copies Mondelez products like Chips Ahoy, Wheat Thins, and Oreos. In a federal lawsuit filed Tuesday in Illinois, Chicago-based Mondelez said Aldi's packaging was likely to deceive and confuse customers and threatened to irreparably harm Mondelez and its brand. The company is seeking monetary damages and court order that will stop Aldi from selling products that infringe on its trademarks. Aldi didn't respond to messages seeking comment. The U.S. branch of Aldi, which is based in Batavia, wow, sounds foreign, Batavia, Illinois, was named in the lawsuit. In the lawsuit, Mondelez displayed side-by-side photos of multiple products. The Aldi's thin wheat crackers, for example, come in a golden box, very similar to Mondelez Wheat Thins. Aldi's chocolate sandwich cookies and Oreos both have blue packaging. The supermarket's golden round crackers and Mondelez Ritz crackers are packaged in red boxes. Aldi, which is founded in Germany, keeps prices low by primarily selling products under its own labels. It's one of the fastest growing grocery chains in the U.S. with more than there we go. Now I see where the rub comes in. This is why it's an issue. Let me read that again. Aldi, which was founded in Germany, keeps prices low by primarily selling products under its own labels.
Yes, that's why I like Aldi.
So because they're probably not, so I haven't been to an Aldi's in a while. Plus, I haven't really thought about it. Like because I wouldn't buy like stuff like that, like Oreos or something, and really looking for a comparison. Probably where the issue comes in is they probably don't sell any of these Oreo or whatever products. They probably only sell they're basically bootleg version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where the issue comes in, because a lot of these grocery stores sell similar, they use similar packaging also. I mean, especially when you look into like the Little Debbie snap cakes and Hostess and things like that, the packaging will be very similar. Excuse me. But they also have the original product there too. And so I think that because they don't sell that and you just walk in, you see the cookies, you think Oreos, and just grab them real quick. I don't know. I do know that as far as you know, when it comes to what is it, copyrights and things like that, you know, that's something that courts definitely listen to. We might feel like, yeah, it's silly, it's not a big deal. Like, for instance, I shared a video, well, I made a video, and at the very end, I had taped one of the post-credit scenes and put it in the video. I got a strike from, well, it's not a strike that affects the channel, but it's saying, hey, this video can't be shown unless you take this out. So I had to take mine out, but I was able to quickly find multiple channels that are showing the exact same thing that apparently Warner Brothers did not have a problem with. So I don't know, it's kind of funny how selective they are with copyrights. But that's the reason why I say, I don't know. They can come after a small channel like me for using a video which I filmed myself. But you know, if you use it off of Warner Brothers site and share it, then you'll get hit that way also, even though they say as long as it's original video, original content. But yet other channels did the exact same thing, and boom, their videos are perfectly fine. In fact, plenty of them are monetized videos. I don't know, interesting how this whole copyright and stuff works. And I think the larger a company is, the more likely they're able to win on something like this, which could set up a precedent of them going after other companies and other supermarkets in general.
What about Apple O's?
What are Apple O's?
Or Wizard
Oh, you talking about like for the cereal?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, what about Apple O's and Wizard Crunch and lightly sugar dusted flakes, and Rice Crappy Crows? Like, you get my point.
That's what I'm saying. It opens up a floodgate. If this case goes through, it sets a precedent that now all of them, they could be liable for lawsuits.
So I can't get no Dr. Thunder?
That's what I'm saying. Sam's Club could also be on the hook for, you know, their well, just a lot of these companies in general.
Because if I was Aldi, I'll bring all that in. What about Mountain Mist instead of Mountain Dew? You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, Squirt instead of Sprite. It just.
Well, I think Squirt would be safe because
I know it's like it's a grapefruit soda, but you get what I'm saying. But like the play on, like, come on, dog. Like, everybody, there's 80,000 versions of bread.
Well, but some of them do. Well, I think bread, for the most part, they don't really do the same thing like this. I want to share these, because Food Club, Costco, Dollar General, all of these people would be, you know. Also, Target does this too. So there's a lot of companies that I feel like they could basically get caught up, you know, doing this. You don't need a silly.
She threatened me today. You better be on that goddamn show. Playing with you, I'm here.
Hey, I let them do what they do.
I appreciate it.
Rondo, good point there. He says they only go after people and companies who don't operate at scale or try to keep the majority of their supply chains in-house. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that has to do with the fact that they're not selling their products also. So if they were selling, you know, the equivalent, like the Nutter Butters or whatever those other ones that I shared, if they were selling the equivalent product, I think that probably wouldn't be getting this lawsuit. You know, their chocolate chip cookies and like very like maybe if they took it in like for instance that bright red or here let me put it back on the screen. For instance, if they took it and if they just changed it slightly, because that's probably what they'll end up having to do.
Yeah.
They took this and they made it like a more, I don't know, more like a maroon red, and they probably threw like a couple of white stripes or something. Well, no, they probably wouldn't get away with that, or maybe like black or something on there, and took this one and instead made it light blue. They probably could still get away with it, but the color scheming is a little too close.
Man, ain't no milk on that bitch. So, okay, so check me out. This is just me because I had to copyright everything that goes on with my business, including my logo and everything. So when I don't know if you've been through the process of having something copywritten.
No.
Okay, so when you go to the government to get something copywritten, you have to describe everything that's in your logo down to a T. So so the first time I applied, I described my logo, Bing Bop Boot. They sent it back and was like, nah, that's not right. And I go, okay. So I described it again. They sent it back to me again and said, nah, that's not right. It was to the point that I had to get somebody that had already done it to explain to me how to do it. You have to describe every piece of anything that's in it. So my logo has a teapot. It's pouring a liquid onto a cupcake. The cupcake has chips in it, and there's another dessert in the back, and there's a weed leaf off to the right, and the weed leaf is green, and the liquid is brown, and the teapot is teal, and it says teapots on it. Da, 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 da. Every fucking in detail, you have to describe everything. So the fact that they were okay with getting that packaging copywritten for Aldi, and it says that is it a blue package that says the word original and has this color in the wording and it has these many cookies on it. There's no milk on their packaging. Oreo has milk on their packaging. They would have to describe their packaging as having a chocolate cookie being dunked into milk. The milk is white, the cookie is black, the filling is white. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but where I would push back is since Aldi is a German company, when they did the copywriting for this stuff, I doubt they went through U.S. copyright courts. That I'm guaranteed that they probably copyrighted this in Germany and just mass produced it throughout all of the stores. So that's a way of getting around the copyright, depending on which country you copyrighted it in. Whereas there's not going to be that pushback to, hey, wait a minute, this looks kind of like Oreos. Now, if they would have probably tried to produce those products in the States and give that copyright, they probably would have said, nah, this is pretty close. This is a little too close for comfort. Just like John says, they're just too close. And I know for me, I look at it like this. Well, I guess you probably need to just pay attention to what you're picking up. If you don't want to grab if you were looking for Chips Ahoy chocolate chip and this one is Ahoy, it's on you to pay attention to read the damn label.
Bitch, you're at Aldi. You not at Walmart. You not getting name brand shit. It's Aldi. You know where you shopping, bro. You shop there for a reason. You picked Aldi instead of Target and Walmart because the prices are different. Come on now. That's crazy.
I mean, I agree. I'm just saying that, yeah, well, you got to remember, you're thinking with common sense. Everybody, they're not going into this place and it doesn't dawn on them, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. It is cheaper. Like, I mean, some people don't think like that, or some people just whip into the store because it's right there and close. I know people who they shop at an Aldi that's right next to Walmart simply because the turn in is easier to turn into. Like they didn't even think about, oh, wait a minute, there's a difference in the prices. Let's see. Well, it's funny.
Okay, fair use. Fair use.
I'm a parody of Monique So she's a parody of a channel. Wondering, does that get her in trouble? I don't know. I mean, you could say that, oh well, the political matrix is the play off of
The Matrix.
and they can. I mean, which it is. I'm not gonna lie. They could hit us on that. I mean, I do believe that there's another channel which came out with the political matrix. I think they're like analysis. Like I think that no, they're consultants. Like I think they consult political campaigns. I mean, if they absolutely wanted to. I mean, think about you had years where it was a WWF, and then all of a sudden, World Wildlife Foundation decided to sue them and force them to change to WWE.
There's a clause in both of our copyright laws. One is the fair use one, which is what I obviously read when I got mine copyrighted. But in Germany, there's one that's called the de minimis, which is of minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a trademark issue. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you.
That stuff makes a difference.
It does. It does. Hold on. Let's do that then. They didn't say it's Oreo though.
No, but they're saying that you're trying to market your product that it looks similar to because what their claim is that you're marketing this product to try to deceive people.
You're in a German spot. I'm sorry. Common sense. You're right.
Yeah.
Because that honestly, I honestly feel like it might get thrown out.
Or well, think about how many because I do know, especially growing up, my mom used to shop at Aldi with us as kids. So how many single moms might be in there with a crying kid and two other kids running around just grabbing stuff? And it's like, Mom, I want these Oreos. And when she's on the phone holding one kid who's crying,
just put it in the fucking basket, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Just put it in the basket. Yeah, cool. We'll get the Oreos. And then you get home and they're not Oreos.
Now, if they don't taste like Oreos, I could understand. But like, come on, bro. You're in Aldi.
No. It says Aldi is copyrighted in America. Yeah, Aldi itself, the company is, I don't know about copyrighted in America, but because they're a German company, their products are not necessarily copyrighted here or trademark. You got to remember, this is not an American company. They just do business in America. Yes, I do know you criticize her mercilessly, Chamonix. But I think people know that when you have a parody channel, and I think they know the difference. Yeah, I think they know the difference of a parody channel. Let's see, how else can you package chips candy? Put this correctly. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's that subject, and I think we've exhausted that one. We can move on to the next one. So I just wanted to talk about it because it caught my attention. But we could go into. Let's see, do I have that one up? No, I don't have that one up. Let me go and grab this story so that we could talk about it a little bit. I guess I don't have it there. Well, here, I will talk about this. Oh, I guess we could talk about Trump and the tariffs. If you guys don't know, Trump has recently, a judge ruled against Trump as far as the tariffs. So.
And then they brought it back and said that the tariffs were okay.
Mm-hmm. So let's go with Time Magazine. Did I grab the right story? We'll see. No, that's the wrong story. Oh, anyway, I don't need the article. But anyway, what's happened is a lower court said that Trump's Trump's basically tariffs were unconstitutional, basically, stating that he doesn't really have the ability to just put massive across the board tariffs, which there's an argument that could be made there. Now, a court above that decided to put a stay on that order, not stating that the tariffs are going to be fully implemented back in. It's just stating that until we've went through and we've researched this, a stay has been put on that order of going against the tariffs. So it doesn't mean that that's thrown out. It means that in the meantime, that restraining order against Trump for the tariffs has been held off. So at some point, the tariffs this all be sorted out, whether they decide no, he can't do it, or yes, he can do it. But in the meantime, I've also heard that the EU is planning on doing retaliatory tariffs against Trump for the tariffs that he is, decided that he want to put on them. So, I mean, just like Rick says, I agree 1,000%. All of this back and forth is going to mess up the economy more than what it already is. It just creates uncertainty. And I agree with that 1,000%. I also heard, what was his name? Peter Navarro talking about, oh no, you can think all the tariff stuff is going away. No, it hasn't gone away. We plan on fully doubling down on all of our tariffs, and Trump has did that recently. Wait a minute, this is updated today. Okay, yeah, let me share this one. This article has been shared today. So it says, Trump explains reasoning behind doubling steel, aluminum tariffs, but critics issue warnings over reckless move. President Donald Trump announces on Friday that he plans to double tariffs on steel, aluminum imports, increasing the charge from 25% to 50%. The tariff escalation comes at a precarious time as Trump's reciprocal tariffs are immersed in legal trouble at the court level, and many U.S. businesses are struggling to contend with the back and forth nature of levies. Trump announcement also coincides with the blockbuster agreement that U.S. Steel and Japanese steel company Nippon, a deal which he promised will include no layoffs, and the steel maker will be controlled by the U.S. The stipend tariffs could potentially further escalate tensions between the U.S. and its top steel partners, which include Canada, Brazil, and Mexico, and the U.S. number of steel importer, Canada, with whom the U.S. has already escalated tensions due to the Trump's other tariffs, stand to feel the pressure of his latest moves. Here's what to know about Trump's double tariffs and what experts have to say about it. What Trump said about doubling the steel and aluminum tariffs. Trump announced his decision during a rally at U.S. Steel's Mon Valley Works in Irvine plant near Pittsburgh in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, shrouded by hard hat Don steelworkers. We're going to bring it from 25% to 50% the tariffs on steel into the United States of America, which will even further secure the steel industry in the United States. Trump told the crowd, offering his reasoning that the increased charges will ultimately help the domestic industry. Nobody's going to get around that. So the back and forth and back and forth and back and forth continues on and on and on. I agree 1,000% with what Rondo says. Trump is an agent of chaos. Well, I think what it has to do with is you have somebody who he gets something in his head, and whether he has the evidence to back up what he's saying, he just doubles down on it. And he doesn't wait around for evidence or anything. He just follows what people around him have told him and what he trusts, because it doesn't seem like he does any reading or researching or investigating anything on his own. He just does stuff. And he looks back to things in history and gets a perspective on it and thinks that, hey, this is what happened, so I'm just gonna do that, and it works. And it's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know. Till your thoughts, if you want to add anything.
He making us look like some bitches.
Please
So
elaborate.
many words. I'm sorry, choice words, but he's making us look like some bitches. Cause I don't respect no motherfucking. I don't respect humans that go back on their word, and I definitely don't respect men that go back on their word. I'm just gonna throw that out there. And if I, even as a woman, if I was prime minister of Bangladesh, if I was prime minister, dictator of China, if I was president of France, I could be president of New Delhi. And I'm looking at the news and I'm like, well, didn't he say he was about to do that over there? And every 2 weeks, when it gets time to do it, we get it for 12 hours and then you go back. You know how pissed off if I went on Amazon and they said I was getting 50% off my shit and then they turn around and still made me pay full price? You lying. It's a lie. A lie is a lie. Regardless of how you spend it, that's a lie. You're not a man of your word. So if you can't handle this shit and this, I'm not going to believe anything else you got going on. Now, the other part that's pissed me off is the judges. So one judge said, whole group of judges is like, yeah, it's not right. He can't do that. And then y'all turn around and let this motherfucker do it anyway? Make it make sense. Just let me know what I need to pay. God damn it. I'm at that point. Give me my final price because I'm sick of this. Don't tell me I'm about to go buy me as a cake baker. You can't tell me as a cake baker, I'm going to give you XYZ cake and it's this much. Right? Then 3 days before you looking for this cake, I up the price. And then the day before this cake need to drop down, I drop the price back down to its original price. And then the day I go to drop this bitch off, it's back up to the second price with the extra taxes, and I got to put gas fees on it. What the fuck are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Just give me my final price. I don't want no subtotal. Just tell me how much I need to pay. Because now you fucking with my money. I get stuff from China all the time. Packaging comes from China. They have some of the best cheap packaging when it comes to things that I do. You know what I'm saying? So like, just tell me what I need to fuck. I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm getting to a point where I'm just tired. I don't even care. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
I feel like this is the problem with somebody who has a real estate background and buying commercial properties. This is why this is a problem with them trying to take that theory of how you do business in that realm to other realms. You can't play the negotiate back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That's not how things work. I mean, you can't do that with a whole entire, I mean, you got basically the strongest economy in the world, the economy that pushes everything around the world, and you're just going to play back and forth like you're haggling over a car. I mean, this is, hey, y'all Trump motherfuckers voted for this shit. Y'all wanted this dumbass dude in here. Then, I mean, it is what it is. Not like I like the other one, but damn, we would have had at least a little bit more stability. Now you got to sit there and just be on this up and down freaking roller coaster with this buffoon all the time.
I want off this ride. Period. I ain't want the motherfucker in office no damn way. But
no, but like I said, in this system it's a binary system. We like it or not, it is what it is. For anybody who will sit up there railing so hard in one direction or the other, if you railed in one direction, you vicariously you propped up the other one. I know people don't want to hear that, but if you rode so hard against Kamala, you got to handle part of this also, because hey, it's one thing if you put your hands up and say, hey, I whatever y'all do is what we deal with. But the people who are out there, one way or another, either propping Trump up or saying he's not as bad, or saying, well, Kamala's going to do this and this, or she's not going to do this. You wanted the woman down? Well, you got to deal with the consequences of this man. And you can't sit there and try to bitch and moan about him now when some of y'all is the very ones that, with large audiences, y'all basically helped this man get elected, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. I mean, especially when I hear FBA people. You basically y'all cut your own throat on ever getting the possibility of reparations. Because this dude is cutting everything down. No, I did not. What did Jason Black have to say? Honestly, one of these days we'll have to bring you on, Chamonique. I'm curious. No, I didn't hear what they said. I didn't hear what either one of them said. So I'm very curious to what they had to say. I mean, because many of them influence their audiences to definitely either vote for Trump or to stay home. And some of them may have went and voted. Says, I was being ironic. They were exactly. A lot of these people were very anti-Kamala. I'm not saying I like Kamala. Sometimes you gotta hold your damn nose. And this is one thing which I'll kind of recant where I was on a position. I remember when I was saying that I didn't like Hillary, but I held my nose and voted for Hillary. And for a long time, I was like, yo, I'm sorry, y'all, for that. At the same time, I mean, I guess it didn't matter because she didn't win any damn way. But this crazy mofo that's in here, everybody knew he was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, this is a bad choice and that's a bad choice. Okay, this is like the worst possible outcome. A lot of people made it like it's a coin flip, and it's not. So I take that back. I guess I pissed off some people with not being on the Trump train. But hey, I'm gonna call it how I see it and just be honest. But that's all I got to say about the tariffs. It's just gonna always be this up and down rodeo, and I honestly wait for the pain to actually come. That's what I'm waiting for. When the pain actually comes, that's when I think people will actually be like, okay, that's necessary.
Okay, Fast and Furious.
Yeah, you got a lot. People do this all the time right around this neighborhood, and it's a residential neighborhood. It's not like you sitting next to a major road. Yeah, it's pretty freaking annoying, especially how many cars get hit in this area.
Just cars, not people.
Yeah, fortunately, it hasn't been any people, but like my car got hit. I've had through the multiple cars I've had probably about maybe 4 or 5 cars get hit. So that's just a little bit of how it goes over here. So that's that part on Trump. So what do you think about the whole stuff with Trump and Palantir? You haven't heard about that?
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Let me bring that story up.
That's not the South African that he got in an arguing match with, is it?
No.
Because I thought the South African was gonna get up, smack taste out of his mouth like Ike smacked Tina. I swore he was about to get to work.
So I don't know if this is this title can be a little bit misleading.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say the title is a little bit misleading, and I'm gonna say that before we actually get into it, is because Trump didn't like literally come out and say, hey, I'm hiring them to do this. But if you know this company's history and you think back to what Snowden released, then you should reject all cookies. I don't want that shit. Anyway, it says, I don't care about that either. It says Trump taps Palantir to create master database on every American. Trump's dystopian plan is already underway. Now, did he say out loud that this is what he plans to do? No. And I've heard some right-wing Trump defenders say, "Well, that's a lie. That's not what he's doing." Well, to be fair, Trump did not say that's what he's doing. But if you look at the people, the Peter Thiels and what is it, Alex Karp, the people who run this company, and you hear the statements that they've made as far as what they believe needs to be done, this is what they want to do. And so if you're going to hire this company, knowing what their track record is and knowing what they plan to do, and also this is where I say Doge ties in, because myself and many others believe part of what Elon Musk was doing was just extorting information. And that information, I'm sure, is going to be given to Palantir. So, we can listen to the article. Fancy. I'll do that because I'll let them talk instead of me for a moment.
Trump taps Palantir to create master database on every American. By Hafiz Rashid. The Trump administration is collecting data on all Americans, and they are enlisting the data analysis company Palantir to do it. The New York Times reports that President Trump has enlisted the firm, founded by far-right billionaire Peter Thiel, to carry out his March executive order instructing government agencies to share data with each other. The order has increased fears that the government is putting together a database to wield surveillance powers over the American public. Since then, the administration has been very quiet about these efforts, increasing suspicion. Meanwhile, Palantir has taken more than $113 million in government spending since Trump took office, from both existing contracts and new ones with the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. That number is expected to grow, especially considering that the firm just won a new $795 million contract with the DoD last week. Palantir is speaking with various other agencies across the federal government, including the Social Security Administration and the Internal Revenue Service, about buying its technology, according to the Times. Palantir's Foundry tool, which analyzes and organizes data, is already being used at DHS, the Department of Health and Human Services, and at least 2 other agencies, allowing the White House to compile data from different places. The administration's efforts to compile data began under Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency initiative, which sought Americans' personal data from multiple agencies, including the IRS, SSA, Selective Service, Medicare, and many others. In some cases, court orders hindered these efforts, but not all of them. Thiel has multiple ties to Doge, both through Musk and through many of his former employees working for the effort or taking other jobs in the Trump administration. And this data collection effort could give him, Musk, and Trump unprecedented power over Americans, with the president being better able to punish his critics and target immigrants. Privacy advocates, student unions, and labor rights organizations are among those who have sued to stop Trump's data collection efforts. Palantir's involvement also gives a powerful tech company access to this data, and its CEO, Alex Karp, doesn't exactly have a benign agenda, hoping to cash in on American techno-militarism. Musk, too, has plans for government data, using his AI Grok to analyze it. Will anyone be able to stop Trump and these tech oligarchs?
I think that's the end of the story. But let's see. I guess I'll give it to you first, Till. Thoughts on this?
Bro, we on Facebook. That shit's a big enough database already. I'm just being honest. They listen to everything in your phone. They, you know what I'm saying? It's to a point where it's like, aren't we already signed off everything anyway. Every time you go to the hospital, they fingerprint you. There's so many ways to like get all your information anyway. So like this probably already started. They just now telling us type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, private companies have already been doing this. Yes, I think the only where this makes this different is when you're taking this information and you're going to catalog it and use it for government, use it for the government. Which, if you have one company that knows all your information that you put on social media, that's one thing. Like, for instance, I don't put everything on social media. I put some things, and I put some things on this one, and I put some things on that one. I don't put all, like, for instance, I don't put very much on Facebook. I mean, I guess I do the show on Facebook, but I don't post a lot on Facebook. I guess technically that's not entirely true because I do post little memes and stuff on Instagram, but a lot of times no comments. I'm not sharing a lot of videos of myself or my personal life. And as far as X, I really don't get on there that much anymore either because I don't like the environment over there. For one, it's extremely negative. It's extremely racist. But even on top of that, let's say it wasn't. Okay, I put out something and 5 people see it. What's the point of even being on there? There's no interaction. There's no engagement. And if I do interact to somebody's comment, typically I'm be called the N-word in 5 seconds after that. I don't want to be in there for that. So I don't being on Twitter or X. It's not for me. And so TikTok, I haven't really done much on TikTok in quite some time because, the uncertainty with that platform. So yeah, you may put stuff on there, you may not, but where I feel this is different is this is going to pool all that information together. So they can say, oh, well, Marcus said this on X and he put out this on Twitter and he put out this on YouTube and this is his health records and this is his medical records and this is his dental and, this is a protest that he was in I don't know, 2009, you get what I'm saying? It puts all of these things together for the government in a way which I don't feel like they kind of had them all together, which is kind of fascistic, and it's similar to what a lot of other, authoritarian countries do, which that's where I feel like the issue comes in a little bit more. Before, if you had some stuff that was going on, say you had your business stuff. Your business stuff might have been the patent office or the IRS. They might know about that stuff, and it's in this information. You might have other things that are going on with, say, a court custody case with kids or something like that. That's in something else. You might have divorce proceedings, which are in local government. That's in something else. And this is pooling all that information to a singular system, which I don't know. With some of the stuff which I always grew up in the church talking about, this seems like this is going more towards that, new world order type stuff, which everybody always feared, where this is getting everybody on, or what they talked about on Black Mirror with like the social credit scores.
Yep. My shit's fucked.
This is leading towards those types of things. Let's see. Shout out to Willie Bragg. I see Willie Bragg is in the building. He said there's a lot of right-wing nuttiness. Yes, what do we call it? Twitter Chan? Yeah, that's what it is now. It's Twitter Chan. It's whatever the most outlandish shit that you would hear on 4chan or 8chan or whatever is now mainstream on Twitter or X. Now, I don't mind having open discussion, but it just seems like it's just full of trolls at this point. Rondo says, let's see, read it. I mean, the feds actually contracting their primary responsibilities out to corporations is wildly unconstitutional. That's my problem with this. Before, some of this stuff had a certain degree of confidentiality, and it seems like it's losing that, and your information is going to be put out and just shared around with all of these major corporations. Let's see. Marcus Nowhere to Run, 1965, single by Martha and Vandellas or Vandeas. We out here. I don't know. It's getting interesting. Twitter is a vat of bigots and bots. I also do wonder how much of it is bots, because I have people which I follow and I don't even get to hear what they're talking about. I get a bunch of random people who I never follow and don't care what they have to talk about, and I keep seeing what they have to say versus the people who I intentionally follow and even have like all notifications clicked. I don't even get to hear them. Big about and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's probably correct, and that's what Elon has been doing to kind of promote his messaging by using bots and stuff. Good point. But I just think Palantir, the next step is we're gonna start seeing Academy used in conjunction more with the military, and sometimes as a substitute for the military in doing certain government things. I don't know. So I remember people saying, "Oh, well, the U.S. troops would never turn their guns towards American citizens."
What? University of Berkeley?
Yeah. I thought that was kind of.
George Floyd protests.
I'm just saying, a friend of ours, content creator, he made the point that he does not believe that American troops would turn their guns against other Americans.
The Civil fucking War.
I'm just saying what somebody was saying.
Does that bitch not know Sorry, I need to stop yelling and cussing. I gotta pick one or the other.
Here,
does that bitch not know history?
I'll say, hey, I'll go ahead and say his name, because hey, this is with love, not picking on you, but we got to be nice to our brother Pasta. Now he might have recanted from that, but I remember, like, I think I was like, no, bro, that's not it. That's not the right take. But he was like, no, there's no way that they would do that. Like, you couldn't get the American troops to come on American soil, and like, I'm like, do you remember when the lockdowns were happening? You remember them, like the tanks kind of rolling down, the Humvees rolling down the streets and telling people, get back in your place.
Remember when niggas was setting shit on fire in Oklahoma? And then they enacted martial law, because when you do that, you bring American troops into a city to turn guns on American citizens.
I told him, as a former one of those goons that they probably would have thrown out there, you're not trying to understand the politics of it. You're not doing it because, oh, I love Donald Trump, or oh, I love Joe Biden, or whatever future politician who might run. That's not why you do those things. You do those things because you follow orders. Because if you don't follow orders, then that means you're going to jail or prison. And I don't think most of these young troops are going to say, you know what? I plan to go to Leavenworth just because I completely politically disagree with this. I'm telling you, most troops in the military are apolitical. They don't follow politics. They don't care. Most of them are young kids who just want to go party half the time. They're doing a job. They're getting some college money, and there's not much thought about what's going on.
But at the end of the day, they got to do what they told.
Exactly. Got to do what you're told. Or you going to? Do you want to go to the brig? 'Cause that's where you're going. They're not about to do that. And some of them are political. Some of them are very gung-ho and be like, you know what? Trump is my president. He says that these people are the enemy. They're going to act in accordance. Or let's switch out the president. Let's say it's Biden. Some of them, well, I don't really feel like you have this people to the center left that are going to be diehard to follow their president, even if they do unlawful orders. That typically is something's kind of remain more for people to the right. Like they're perfectly fine with following their ideology, even if the president may be doing something illegal. Just saying. I mean, I know some people might feel that's unfair for me to categorize the sides that way. That's just what I've seen. In the military, people who are more to the right are very, very politically motivated, whereas people the further left they get in the military, they're kind of less motivated. So I don't know how we got off into that tangent about that, but that's just what I would say on that. That's what I was bringing up, academy and all that. And I can see a situation where after they started doing this, you might start seeing the camps and stuff. I don't know. We're moving towards a very, I don't even think it's a soft authoritarianism. I think we've kind of already been in the soft authoritarianism. We're just kind of creeping further and further over. So we'll see how fast they turn up the water in that pot before people start noticing and complaining about what's going on or not. So soldiers, like prisoners, are property of the United States government.
Talk about it.
When you sign that paperwork, it literally, I mean, do y'all
own
realize
yourself for 4 years? I feel, and this is gonna sound fucked up. I'm the product of 2 veterans, so don't take it all the way offensive. But when you sign up for the military, you literally are like signing for slavery for 4 years. Like that's slavery for 4 years.
Well, you keep saying 4 years, not 4 years. It's 8 years.
It's 8 off the cuff. I thought it was 4.
Any 4-year contract is automatic 8 years. And I'm gonna tell you why. You have 4 years active duty, 4 years inactive.
You're right.
Because I remember when I was getting out, they told me, they said, yo, you still are under contract this amount of time. So even if, like, let's say you wanted to smoke weed and you popped on a piss test, you still could be held liable and accountable for that. And so that can change your status from honorable discharge to a general discharge. So you're still held accountable to UCMJ laws for 4 more years. I don't think people realize that, but it is a fact.
That's crazy work, but you're right.
And so even if some people come in on a 2-year contract, it's rare, but some people come in on a 2-year contract. That means you have 6 years inactive service. They could call you up. You could have been out for 5 years and they could just call you up all of a sudden and say, hey, we need you back.
Damn.
Now, the only time they can't bring you back is if you went out on disability, you went out on a form of disability, or you retired over a certain age. Oh, wait a minute. Let me take that back. If you're an officer,
they can come scoop your ass up.
They can bring you back at any age. They can bring you back for life. You could have been out for 20 years, 30 years. As an officer, they can bring you back. And I think if you retire, they can bring you back for up to 20 years. Now, under that status, you'll be brought back as more than likely like an instructor or something. You wouldn't be like, chucked a gun in your chest and told to get out somewhere, but you still can be brought back. That's what I just wanted to mention. Let's see. And that's what I was going to say. When Rondo put this part up here, he said soldiers, like prisoners, are property of the United States government. You literally, in your paperwork, it says, I can't tell you how many times it says, and possibly punished by life imprisonment or death, life imprisonment or death, life imprisonment or death. It says that over and over and over and over in your contract. And you are signing yes, 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 yes. So
ain't nobody reading that shit either.
Oh, I mean, it was pretty jarring to me when I was reading it. I mean, and for those who have never signed the paperwork or don't know anybody who signed the paperwork, it literally takes you hours to sign, your paperwork to go to the military. You're literally sitting there for like 3 hours, 4 hours signing paperwork.
And they treat you like you on the first 48. They come bring you a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Get your little Pepsi. You hungry? Want some Wingstop? Come bring some Wingstop. It's like you snitching on your homeboy on first 48. Yeah, just sign right here.
That's when my signature changed. I changed my signature literally halfway through signing that contract because I got tired of writing my name all the way out in full cursive. I'm like, all right, here's the scribble. Done. Scribble. Done. Scribble. Done. Because you get your hand starts getting sore. You write so damn.
X. Just put X up there. Just X.
I mean, so for those who don't know, you said my brother is former Army Signal Company out in Georgia, Fort Stewart. I've been out there. Actually, I'm trying to remember. I think Fort Stewart is where everybody goes for jump training. I think it was Fort Stewart. Been a while. Yes, so many signatures. Gulmaro Ochoa Montuaro. New person in here. Cool. Let's see. What do they have to say? Say Mexico is having a big election today. They're electing their Supreme Court justices. When will America do this? That is a great question. I wish America would do this. But thanks for that heads up. I will make sure to look into that. And see what I can find out about Mexico's judges. That seems like that's a good story to bring up and discuss, especially countries which have a different way of, electing their different officials, whether it be through the judicial branch. Man, I'm having a hard time tongue-tied today. I wanted to start using X, no lie. Paul was in the Army NCO. The DOD followed him until he died. Yes, they do. He was deployed during Desert Shield. But yeah, joining the military, yes, the troops will do what they're told to do. And also, you don't know what intel that they're given or told when they're going to a situation. They could be told that every single one of these people are deemed terrorists and blah 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 blah. You don't know what intel that these people are going to be told when they go out to these streets. So that's another thing. It's definitely information that we were told, which all the intel that you get in the military is not correct, but it's given to you as if it is 1000% correct. So even within the military, there is a certain degree of propaganda and gaslighting that goes on. Said the U.S. tried to malign the reform that was almost the last reform that people chose their own judges and magistrates. Yeah, I think that's terrible when you start getting involved in other people's governments. But That's what America specializes in. Trying to bully other people into doing things their way and trying to subvert their own governments and processes. The most versions of events possible. Yeah, exactly. They get the most prejudiced versions of events possible when they give info at all. Yeah. And then also we got to look to where this information exactly comes from. All right. So we talked that one and that one. Oh, let me throw this little story in here with some of the tech stuff. I thought this was, see, this is where, like, I brought up about the EVs earlier. And this story is where tech can be used for good also. Because I don't want everybody to think that I'm completely like anti-technology. Like, I do believe tech can be good and can be used in the right way. But I do get a little spooked about some of this stuff. And maybe it can be a product of like when I grew up, you know. I don't know how many people who really were big on like stuff in the 80s and 90s and how they showed us how all this tech will be used to, like, you know, some robot revolution is going to come and take us all over. And, you know, some of that stuff had an impact. It was entertaining, it was compelling, it was gripping, but, you know, as you see some of this stuff, it's going to make you a little bit, I mean, I feel like it makes me a little bit nervous about some of this stuff. Oh, that's what it was. I forgot to bring this up. Well, I guess, well, let me bring up this one first, this story first, and then we'll go on to that other government, well, or hop back into the government stuff, because this also ties in with Trump, and I think this is going to tie into some of the Palantir stuff. I guess, yeah, let me hold off on that one. And then we can go into the Palantir stuff from there. I did have, well, I mean, not go into the Palantir, we already did that. But this is something I forgot to bring up. And I saw a video on it. I don't want to share the video because I don't want them to hit us on some kind of copyright stuff. You know how some of these companies are. But oh, I thought I selected it. Let me do that again. So hopefully this one has a image. Oh, good. It has an image in there. Oh no, did you hear anything about Project Stargate?
Those those things they put all over the United States that are portals for people to pop into?
I don't know about that.
Oh, no, I don't know nothing about that.
Well, I guess it only gives me one option. Select. Damn it. All right. Oh, screw it. Throw my life away. All right. This is from the Financial Times. Emerging reality of OpenAI SoftBank grand plan for data centers. You see this right here, everybody? This is this is a 1.2 gigawatt data center being built in Abilene, Texas. This will supply computing power to OpenAI. This is called Project Stargate. So it says the launch of Stargate, an apparent 500 billion project to build data centers in the U.S., was hailed by President Donald Trump in January as the largest AI infrastructure project by far in history. An immediate 100 billion investment was promised by Stargate partners OpenAI, Japanese investor SoftBank, Oracle, Abu Dhabi fund MGX, which declared the project would support the reindustrialization of the United States. But after 4 months, its financing and future are far from straightforward. The 500 billion headline cited from OpenAI calculation on the cost of computing power it believes it needs, not because anyone has invested the sum of capital in the project. Stargate will only build data centers for use by OpenAI. It is about 500 billion, or sorry, 50 billion in investment commitments, and the AI data center being built in the U.S. is owned and operated by separate companies. Given how investors are on AI, the project will probably not struggle to raise a lot of cash. And Stargate funding plan is candy moved by OpenAI, given it will not dilute its stock, but when its financing is examined, it is difficult to see how Stargate will follow through on its pledge to begin deploying 100 billion immediately. So far, the only money has been put to work directly is Abu Dhabi, where the plans to build Stargate UAE. The bulk of the funding, reportedly as much as 20 billion, will come from G42 at Abu Dhabi AI Group. So, in short, and of course, you guys can read this whole article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just mentioned about Palantir, right? And all this information from Palantir. I just mentioned about Doge, how Doge was had to put a court order on them from them stop downloading all this information that they were doing, especially once they got into the IRS records. Now we have Sam Altman's OpenAI partnered with Japanese company, UAE, all of these other companies. This has probably been the first administration which is really, really pushing heavily forward with all this AI intervention and inclusion into the government. And the level of spying that we're about to see, if you think about that clip that I used in the open, it's from the show Person of Interest. And I feel like they're just using this so that they can be able to monitor and track everybody to a crazy amount. And this is only the building blocks to start setting up something bigger and more nefarious, in my opinion. Because these things, they always start off as, oh, well, this is technological advancement and we hope that it can do this and we hope that it can do that, but it tends to always go in a crazier direction. It tends to go crazy. And I think that this is only lead into, and especially you go with these ID cards and in ways that they can track you, which I'm working on a video where I'm going to put together my, like, breaking all this stuff down, how I see like these different technologies from these different shows that are only sci-fi that are ways they're trying to implement all these things. So I don't know, Teal, what's some of your thoughts on this?
I'm at a point where it's like, are we even surprised anymore? Like, art has been imitating life, and like my mom used to always say, they always gonna put it in movies. Hollywood ran by,
We know.
So it's those things.
But I'm saying we can't say this stuff's a theory anymore now.
It's never been a theory since 2001 with the Patriot Act. Like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm. True.
You know what I'm saying? It's been like this for almost 25 years. And they've been doing it beforehand. They just got caught low key in 2001. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just said with the last article. It's just a fact of these motherfuckers is getting caught because technology allows us to be a little more connected. I won't even say we're even equivalent in connected, but we're getting a little more aware thanks to technology. And they're just honestly playing like damage control.
Well, I think at this point, it's just like, it's getting so like, in order for you to implement these programs, it's going to be like, it's almost impossible for us not to see it because it's so massive what you plan to do. If you plan on taking 300 million plus Americans and track them and track all of their data, you're going to need massive computing power. And
they're building one in Alabama too, though. My dad knows it because they're doing it in Huntsville by the rocket station. And there's one that's going in Richmond, in Virginia, I believe, because I think they ran out of space to try to do it in Norfolk. There's one that's going to be in Vegas if it's not already finished. Like they're just strategically putting them there. They just had to talk about the one in Texas.
Well, and then I know for a fact the government servers, they have one. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if I can find it. I can't remember where it's actually at, but you remember the movie Die Hard, and they what was it? Live Free or Die Hard, that one, and they had the government servers Woodlawn.
Oh, the one that's up already is the one in Utah. That's what I meant. My bad, not Vegas, Utah. The one in Vegas probably isn't built yet.
But yeah, this is showing that dystopian future that people don't believe is coming, or because some people don't believe this. They're like, oh, well, you guys are all conspiracy theorists, whatever. This is coming, and this is all being ushered in under Trump.
It's here. It's not even coming. It's here.
Not all. I would say some of this stuff has been secretly kind of just pushed in. It's just like with the Trump administration, because one side of the aisle, since they complain about him all the time, they're not going to be taken serious by the other side. And the other side, since they're going to defend everything he does, no matter what it is, it's the perfect time to do it, because that's when you're going to get the less united stink about it. You know, the whole divide and conquer. If you did this nakedly under Biden or under a Democrat, some of the people who are so-called leftists are going to call out Biden also. And then you're going to have the whole entire right ecosystem calling out Biden. So therein you have basically like a good 60% to 70% of this country starting to call him out. Whereas with this, what are you going to get? 35% who are pushing Biden, who are 35% who support Trump on everything, and then another 35% who seem like they complain about everything he does. So that just becomes a push. And then the rest of the people who they just don't care or say anything. So I don't know. It's interesting. I see Yona's in the building. What's up, Yona?
Hey, Yona.
Yeah, the Trump, it blows my mind how many people talk about, oh, everybody just has TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. But we don't talk about the people who have Trump worship syndrome. It's like, okay, you guys are a little out there. Well, and then on that same token, they have Democrat derangement syndrome, because everything a Democrat does, they freak the fuck out about. When a Democrat and when a Republican turn around and do the same damn thing, and then they don't care. But I talked about that one. So let me give you guys one other story that can be good. I just don't know. I mean, I'm so skeptical about all of this technological stuff right now. So, but this was a story that really caught my attention. I was like, okay, that's kind of creepy, weird. It says nanotech contact lenses give humans super vision, even in total darkness, with eyes shut. Had you heard of this?
I need them shits as blind as my black ass is.
Joins us again with a question that is on viewers' minds. The question is, do I always need to use antibacterial ointment?
See how we did. See how they do.
Okay, I guess it's freezing up. I guess I It says humans can use nanotechnology contact lenses. According to a new study published in the journal Cell, after first testing in mice, scientists from China and the University of Massachusetts Chan Medical School created contact lenses for humans infused with specialized nanoparticles, thousands of times smaller than a grain of sand. That let people
Your FBI
people
agent
see in the
hates you.
dark
You
and
can't
in
talk about this shit no more, Marcus.
foggy conditions. These nanoparticles are scattered throughout the soft lens material, where they absorb infrared light and convert into images the human eye normally can't see.
So apparently, Marcus's FBI agent
And
doesn't
they
like
like,
talking about this no more. That's why he's
hey, man, you're
staticking
talking
out.
about too much crap today that we're not fond of.
They're breaking it up. They're breaking it up. I'm trying to tell
Gang
you.
Han, the study's lead author and a PhD level nanoparticle researcher at UMass Chan Medical Center, told ABC News that lenses enhance how someone sees color. When wearing them, you still see everything normally, Hans said. The lenses. Oh, really? I'm staticking. Mm-mm-mm.
I had a really good. Yeah, they almost they fucked you up.
Wow. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Wow, I completely froze.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
We can still hear you. We just can't see you. I don't think he can hear us.
Let me try something.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
No, he in fact cannot.
It wants to. Back out.
Hey y'all. While Marcus gets himself together, just know I want them contacts. Because my blind ass, I need that shit. Oh, he's back.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Wow. And I just checked my system just for shits and giggles, and my signal is probably as strong as it possibly could be right now. But for some reason, why come I can't talk? They must have a delay, because I think it's the other segment that they probably had more of an issue with than this one. Why talking about nanoparticle content?
Because you can't talk about nanobots, bro. Come on now. Can't talk about nanobots. I'm still here. I just gotta cut my camera off. I gotta get dressed and drop this cake off.
All right.
You know you can't talk about nanobots.
Man, good gracious. I can't talk about nothing.
No. The fuck? How you not, Mark? You know better than that.
So let me try to read that story again. Because I'm like, I thought that this one was a good story. I'm like, I'm mixing it, the good and the bad, the good and the bad.
Nope.
Oh wow. What the heck was that?
See?
Yeah. Oh, what is this? So
They about to shut our show down.
I don't know exactly how much you guys heard. Nanotech contact lenses gives humans supervision even in total darkness with eyes shut. Says humans can now see in the dark, even with their eyes closed, using nanotechnology contact lenses. That's important to new study published in the journal Cell. That's all I'll say on that one. But if you guys want to read that article, come on, now I'm freezing up. So I'm sure if you guys remember nanotech contact thing is getting delayed. I guess I will. Come on. All right, so, whew, yeah, it didn't like that story, not at all. So I guess I'll go ahead and I'll drop this one down, and I'll go on and move on to, say, well, we got Till in here, so let's talk a little bit about, Mr. Sean Combs a little bit.
Are you frozen again?
Am I frozen? Hopefully I'm not.
No, I thought you were. I was about to get mad as hell.
Okay, so maybe they'll let me talk about Diddy. So let's share this on the screen. It says Spiral, call me please. Diddy teams text in panic, then court heard his profane threats to her job. So he had another woman who was a former assistant of Diddy who claimed that, says, need to know, Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant, who is using the pseudonym Mia, is continuing her testimony on Friday, May 30th. Mia claimed the music mogul once threatened to ruin her career. On Friday morning, she recalled a series of messages and missed calls she received from Combs and his team in October 2015.
Is this the shorty he shot in the face?
And without really reading into this article, I could tell you a couple of takeaways I saw. It recounted. Did he shoot this one in the face?
I was about to say.
I don't know. You might have read more than I did. I just remember that he was abusive to this one and threw stuff.
If this must be his assistant. No, he shot some chick in the face.
That he took with that he had a gun and took her to.
Oh yeah, he held her hostage in like her office.
Yeah, this is the one where he took to Kid Cudi's house.
Oh.
And so, yeah, no, this is the assistant that he took to Kid Cudi's house. And threatened it. So now we have accounts, of course. Well, Cassie just delivered. Congratulations to her third child. But you have the assistant, which he beat and threatened and all that. Then you have Cudi, who testified last week about him trying to blow up his car. I don't know. Can you guys still hear me? Because my audio is failing a little. I don't know. I know, Till, you've been following some of it. Fill the people in.
So he threatened his assistant via text. He blew up Kid Cudi's car like a supervillain. Went and opened all his Christmas gifts. Like a supervillain. I thought that was kind of funny to me, honestly. That's honestly my favorite part of the whole thing is he went into Kid Cudi's house and opened up all his Christmas gifts. That shit's hilarious. And then he shot this.
My audio is supposed to be good. Can you guys hear me? Till,
I
can you
heard
hear
you
me?
for a second. I heard you for a second. Yeah.
Oh, Till might be away. I don't know. If you guys can hear me.
Can you hear me? Can you let me in? Can chat let us know who can hear who? Thank you, Rondo. Yeah, he shot that lady in the face and Sean took the hit. Oh Lord. So yeah,
Really?
they don't like us.
That's
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
I figure maybe I'll turn.
So Sean did take the hit for that
I
lady
hear
getting
you
shot in the
fine
face.
myself.
But that's like the beginning of this motherfucker's like villain story. You know what I'm saying? Hey Soul, how are you?
Oh, that's the one. Shine. Oh, with Shine.
Yeah.
That's right.
That shot that lady in the face. And had to pull that time. And then this assistant, he had went to her office and like threatened her in her office too. Like wouldn't let her leave and shit. Motherfucker psychotic, y'all. Definitely the epitome of a supervillain for real. Like seriously. Whatever you do, don't sign the Bad Boy Records. God damn, this motherfucker's worse than Suge Knight in my opinion. By the way, y'all think Suge Knight should be free? I mean, if they let Diddy go, I think they need to let Suge go too, cause you know what I'm saying? They doing the same shit. Intimidating people, hurting people. Ain't nothing but black mobsters. And if you know anything about Diddy, you know his daddy was cool with Frank Lucas and shit. So that part.
That I didn't know.
The old girl has a YouTube channel. What you ain't know, Marcus?
No, I said I didn't know that about that his father was cool with Frank Lucas.
Yeah, his daddy and Frank Lucas was besties, and his mama was too. His mama used to run a whorehouse out in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That explains why he probably a little messed up in the head.
Bro, there's a rumor. I don't know how real it is, but there's a rumor that she used to make mac and cheese with his skeet.
Oh shit! You almost made me choke on my coffee.
Sorry.
Good Lord.
But yeah, there's a rumor that she would make mac and cheese with Diddy skeet and feed it to people. So that's to be more careful. Hell yeah, these motherfuckers crazy. Like crazy.
I guess she wanted to make it extra creamy. I mean, did she have a certain amount that she was using? Like,
bro, I ain't got the fucking recipe now. Chill out.
I figured you would cook. Maybe they sent it to you.
You know what I'm saying? You make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, I'm Martha Stewart or some shit. No,
You used 3 teaspoons.
Yeah. Well, they said that she just kept it in a jar in the fridge and shit. And I'm just like, the fuck is going on?
How long was she having him replenish this damn thing?
Child might have been at every Freaknik. Who knows?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That could have started off with his parents having him do some weird freaky.
I'm saying, and usually motherfuckers that are weird like that tend to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that tend to be like, you know what I'm saying, wild crazy, they get it from their parents because they learn from their parents first. You know what I'm saying? And that sucks because, you know, that's trauma. But when you grow up in a household that allows that type of trauma, you don't view it that way. So, you know, now you out here skeeting for your mama to put it in mac and cheese. And you think that's normal.
So maybe his father was doing all the stuff that Diddy's doing now.
Well, his mama ran the whorehouse, so maybe he just hung out with his mom all the time.
Well, but even still, like, if she ran it, you don't think, like, the father came in, was like, he made her do some stuff?
Well, that's the thing. Diddy doesn't physically, like, he runs the freak offs, but he gets like the residuals of it, if that makes sense. Like, don't think like he ain't out here, from at least from what they have presented thus far, he ain't out here like putting guns to bitches' heads and go, you know what I'm saying, suck me off or nothing like that. No, he's like, hey, go in that room, mess with that other dude, and then bring me the results. You know what I'm saying? And like the only physical abuse part that really got shown was when he mollywopped her in the hallway, which that could have came because of anything. She could have said, you know, she hated dirty money. It ain't had to do with nothing to do with nothing.
Which I think also is possible. He saw his father probably put some hands on his mom's too, because a lot of people who in that gangster lifestyle, when you become violent, you beat the hell out of anybody. Why think you included?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, you know, you can retaliate against anybody. It can get physical for any many reasons. You know what I'm saying? I didn't physically see my parents get to fighting in the house, but I'll swing on a nigga in a heartbeat if I feel disrespected. I grew up in a household where disrespect was not tolerated, and that had nothing to do with gender roles. If you catch my drift, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So don't technically have to see it to act on it, XYZ, but
that's true. I'm just saying, but that does happen very frequently where
no, it does. I'm not saying that.
People see it and then
reenact it. Yeah.
That learned behavior. That this is acceptable.
You know,
Especially
and then you know it could have
age.
just been blind rage type vibe. You know, there's a couple of different areas in which that can be okay, you know, not okay, but you know what I'm saying, exhibited. But as far as the other shit, man, listen.
Well, also if you got parents of bad, like one or both of the parents have tempers, that could have affected, you know, him also, just passed down. You don't necessarily have to see it, but just passed down behavior.
But yeah, back to like, but
here, you got it for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah. But all in all, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers can exhibit things, learn behavior. They don't have to see it in the household, whatever have you. But like the fact that like he grew up around gangsters anyway. You know what I'm saying? He grew up where the Italian mafia was definitely still prominent. Frank Lucas was fighting with the mafia out there in Harlem and shit. Just been around and exposed to a number of different things that was going on in New York at the time. So just on account of that itself, it's just a wild time to be a part of all of this.
Oh, I'm back.
Or that.
But yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to touch bases on like the updates of the trial just a little bit. I wonder if this thing will allow me to play another video. I grabbed the short version. That's what I have on that. And then I figure, I don't know, I might leave it open for people if y'all have something y'all want to ask Teal. You can go ahead and have a little ask Teal or ask Marcus a question and throw in some different things. But I saw this Piers Morgan interview, and Piers has kind of been, he's finally switched from his defending Israel at all costs to now, you know, calling it a genocide and pushing back. And so I kind of want to share this clip with he's interviewing from her name is like Skippy Hatavelli, which I just call her hot and smelly. So let me share this clip. Yeah, something else that I was going to share, but whatever. We'll get to this. Oh, that's right. We'll talk more on the I guess I can hold this, and I think I all about the AI thing. Forgot about the AI thing. Sorry. I'm gonna hold that for a second, and I want to show you. Oh, the queen of the show is in the building.
Hey, Liz.
Brew Bones. Hopefully she's safe out there.
Exactly, Rondo.
What did Rondo say?
That Diddy went to school with a capo.
I
Y'all
mean,
gotta understand, this nigga got so many mob connects, like mob ties to the max. That's what I just want people to start understanding. He has so many mob ties, bro. He's connected so deeply, and people be like, "Oh, you know, this and no, that nigga is psychotic, y'all. That man is psychotic."
So
a psychopath.
I don't know how much of like some of this AI stuff that y'all been watching and following, but what is it? I'm blanking on what it's called, DO3 or something like that. It's just released this new AI thing that has everybody all tripped up. I guess I'll share what I want to show first. What I want to show to y'all. But yeah, I guess I could show the Larry, because this is one time where Larry be tripping sometimes, but Larry wasn't tripping this time. Let's see if it'll let me show it. Dang it, I don't want to share it. Okay, I guess I can't share that clip. Okay, next clip. My bad, y'all. Hold on. They probably made him take it down or something. Who knows? But let's go ahead and share this on the screen. Oh.
I don't know if you,
there you go.
You guys can tell, but this is not a real person. It's not a real opinion. It's just AI rage bait. Yeah, there's now a huge budding economy built off of inventing a fake person tailor-made specifically to trigger you, to make you mad, to torment you, and most importantly, to then monetize that rage. We're talking about people making $50,000, $60,000 per month off of AI-generated content like that. Analysts are predicting an almost 20% year-over-year growth of AI video content, growing from about $700 million right now, over $2 billion in 2032. Google, a few days ago, just came out with their VO3 state-of-the-art video generation model. You can do sound effects, background noises, dialogue. The quality is freaking insane.
Please. Don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please. Please, man. Yeah, because someone decided to.
Oh, we are so toast. I can't put it really any better than this person did, so I'm just going to read it to you. Quote, social media apps are disassociating an unreality machine.
Shout out to just much needed. there are more videos on that they're able to crawl in. I don't know why I'm having such a problem right now, but yeah, my AI is like shitting the bed right now. Let me try one more video and see if it can show it better without all the glitching.
Marcus, I'm gonna hop off and get back on my phone.
Okay.
All right.
So let's see if I can bring up one of those. All right. So is that the? So okay, yeah. Let me show you guys this one real quick. Hopefully this one doesn't glitch too much. You guys will be able to see it. But for those who are not familiar with this AI and haven't seen it yet, here's one of those videos to show you how good this AI has gotten.
I broke into a zoo to prove one man is enough to fight a gorilla.
Welcome to the Chernobyl challenge. I'm gonna lick this glowing pole. Let's see how many views this gets.
No plan, no shoot, just content.
Bathing in liquid cement until it hardens. Let's get solid.
No energy drinks, just gasoline. Digging to the Earth's core, bare hands, no brakes. Can I survive a full latex suit in 100-degree heat with no water? Let's find out the hard way. Staring at the sun for 10 minutes straight. Wish me luck. Counting every grain of sand on this beach. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing K2 the honest way. Alone, unprepared, and in a straight line. Leave a comment for the search team. About to do the first plunge into an active volcano. Let's send it.
We spent $50 million to rebuild the Titanic just to sink it again. Last person to abandon ship gets a Lambo.
I covered my entire body in compost and waited to see what started growing.
Running for my life on North Sentinel Island. Day 3. Should have picked Bali.
All right. I've sealed my head in this plastic box, and I'm gonna try to read the entire dictionary before I pass out.
Flying into North Korea with a lawn chair and 1,000 party balloons. Don't try this at home.
I'm about to survive 100 days in the African savannah, only eating and drinking what my body already gave up. Basically, the circle of life.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're cooking with plutonium-239. It's hot, it's dangerous, and it's definitely illegal.
I have to eat diamonds for views. I hope you're happy, algorithm.
No. Granted, some of those you could tell that they were AI. Some of those you could tell they weren't real, but like some of those were just like, wow. He said, oh, look, the DEI AI. Yeah, some of that is just like crazy, but also it's kind of a commentary on what some of these, influencers are doing is just trying to up the ante, anything for content. And man, it is crazy. Yeah, I agree. Rondo says this shit is literal sorcery. And so now combine that with some of the stories that we've already talked about. You start mixing in this Stargate, Project Stargate, and all of these government servers. Mix that in with Palantir and with the Doge department, all the information that they've been downloading. Put that together with all the open AI, and now you have this platform where they're able to, create imagery and videos of you. How long before they start using that to start setting people up, and they'll be able to say, well, we know for a fact that you were in this certain location, and the cell phone, we have your cell phone data to know that, okay, you text this person, that person, boom, this person comes up dead or missing. It becomes easy to pin something on you and put you in the location, cell towers, all that, and frame and set people up. And that's one of the things I think is so kind of terrifying about this technology. They can make anybody say anything or do anything. And if you already think about a government which is very, man, what the hell is that? You think of a government which is, very authoritarian, and start ticking people off. It's pretty easy for them to be able to set up whatever scenario they want to. So I don't know, it's kind of a scary time. Rondo says it's emblematic of how far society has fallen. And I think it's I'm trying to remember, I was hearing a back and forth discussion on one of the guys who left from one of these open AI platforms. And what he was talking about is that he left because he was so scared of where this is going to go. And I think he said it was like something 2027 and or 2028. And he's believed that all of this stuff is going to kind of come online around 2027, 2028. I think it's actually going to take a little bit longer, heading towards somewhere around 2030. And because if you guys look back to that video, I don't know if you guys have seen you guys remember the old AI video of Will Smith trying to eat spaghetti. What was that?
No, that's my GPS. Sorry.
Oh, you guys remember the video of how crazy that Will Smith video looked of the AI? If you see how it looks now in 2025, it shows you how far the AI has come. Where now it does look like somebody who's actually chewing. 1,000 feet, turn left onto Airport Road. Uh-oh, y'all can go with Teal. Y'all hear exactly where she's going.
Y'all can hear exactly where I'm going. Ah! There we go.
And that's what I'm saying. Also, right there, that's another thing that adds into what I was saying. The GPS, they'll be able to use their GPS to track exactly where you are. So
I mean, I saw a video the other day where a dude was telling people how your LED lights are actually microphones.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, took it apart, and found a transmitter inside of it, and I said, "Yikes, I'm back."
Yeah, at this point, I've just kind of left everything in the God's hands, and
Hey, I just told somebody that today. I was like, "Bro, it's above me now." Ah, that's my new saying for everything. It's above me now.
Yeah. What was it? Let me try. I want to see if I can find that Will Smith AI video for those who didn't see it.
Yeah, and y'all start dropping y'all questions in the comments.
Yeah, I got any questions you want to ask. Okay, here it is. Let's see. I hate some. Ew, this one's so like gross looking too. How bad the AI was.
Yeah.
Changed. So here's the 2023.
Glitchy mess was peak AI Will Smith. 23. Wild, huh? Now brace yourself because only 2 years have passed and 2025 AI dropped this. The jump in quality is mind-blowing. How did we even get here from that first attempt? Is your brain ready for this whiplash? This glitchy mess was peak AI Will Smith eating spaghetti back in 2023. Wild, huh? Now brace yourself because only 2 years have passed and 2025 AI dropped this. The jump in quality is mind-blowing. How did we even get here from that first attempt? So
Y'all see how much that's changed from that glitchy, creepy, scary looking thing to something that looks, it doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look like Will Smith necessarily. It looks like it can be a relative of Will Smith, like a cousin or something. But it's pretty, pretty crazy how much the AI has changed since then. It says I saw a video where a guy took a tracking chip out of a virus mask, but I tried it and luckily didn't find any chip. Yeah, some of this stuff you never know. Some people might be like staging stuff in there, so they say, "Oh, look what I found in here." Some of it's true, some of it's not. You don't know. Everything is hit or miss, and so since I feel like you can't trust necessarily anything, you gotta put your faith in some kind of higher power. Because if you don't believe there's a higher power, then okay, we're just all at the mercy of this technocratic, fascism, authoritarianism that's coming, and I don't see how anybody has the ability to stop it. Your thoughts, Teal?
Oh no, we're fucked. We've been fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all got to get right with whoever y'all pray to, if y'all pray, even if it's just yourself. But just come to terms, like, the world is fucked in so many different avenues. So live life to the fullest. You don't get to repeat the same 24 hours every day. I just said this the other day. Like, you can't repeat the same 24 hours every day. So just make it matter to you, bro.
Yeah, and
Because you ain't gonna be able to believe nothing on TV. You're not gonna be able to believe, like, I saw this thing where it was like, we're AI actors and we want to have the same rights as human actors. I'm like, nigga, what?
Mm-hmm.
I seen this whole video and they looked so real.
Yeah. I shared one of those videos. Didn't I send you one? I think I sent you one.
With the one with the old lady playing basketball?
Let's see what.
Because that's my new favorite one. It's these old ladies talking shit playing basketball, and they were all AI, but they were putting up some buckets.
Yeah, let's see. Did I send you one? I'm trying to remember. I think I did. Oh yeah, I did send you that one. Let me see if I can send it to myself. Show again, because it was the one where it was like, oh, it nailed every single influencer archetype, which I kind of just showed one, but oh, and that reminds me, I sent this to myself also about what was it? Sal the Agorist. He put out a post or whatever. It says Google VO3 and Flow. The future of AI filmmaking is here. How it works. Published May 20th, 2025. And then right after, FBI will soon release video that proves Jeffrey Epstein was not murdered. Clear as day.
Oh.
Yeah. So now we're gonna trust this video?
I'm just saying, bro. You can't trust any of them. I be seeing like roller coaster crash if you AI.
Yeah. Oh, I found the one which I sent to you. Let's see if it'll play. The other one that I have from Larry Johnson didn't want to play. Okay. Sweet. It is gonna play. Pause. Unmute. And here we go. Let me show you guys. This one was like a really good one also. And at the same time, it's really good, and they're kind of doing kind of a social critique with influencers.
The outer ring of the city will now be going live to our top influencer opinions. OMG, people, the world is ending. Are you seeing this? This is actually so exciting.
No, I know it's chaos, but you got real survival.
That's cool. I like them feisty.
Like, it would totally be better if we ran it, you know? Men literally destroy.
need to stop being so soft with these basic losers. Builds just gets destroyed by a different man.
I'm buying more right now.
Nukes are Sua's aesthetic today. I made this outfit.
Even as the world burns, my struggle for visibility and acceptance continues. This is exactly why representation matters now more than ever.
As I keep saying on the channel, the world collapses when men stop lifting. It's not politics, it's testosterone.
Yes, yes, yes. Balloon time. So yummy. Nuclear boom. So tasty. Thank you.
Nothing stops the daily grind. Not even a little natural disaster.
Friends, this is the breakthrough moment from chapter 7. When everything falls apart, we rebuild ourselves stronger.
My girl, you wouldn't believe what just happened.
Hi. OMG, I just totally shit my pants after that noise.
Chat, this is literally the most realistic survival game ever, and someone donate so I can buy a boat DLC before I actually drown.
So this company says their device is quote unquote indestructible, supposedly survives anything, including the literal end times. Hey guys, remember, health is wealth. That's why I take these 7 supplements right before my cheese stuffed hot dogs.
Officials confirm outbound flights are suspended, except for government and priority class departures.
My dog has diplomatic status.
OMG. 5 gifted subs for surviving the blast, maybe?
Today I'm showing you how to infiltrate an executive class bunker using only social engineering and a vape.
Your nukes are so manly. You're such a big boy. Go check out the link in bio, my king.
I told you so when I said they'd shut down the grid. Look at you scrambling like rats now.
The fiat system is collapsing exactly as we predicted. I just bought a bunker with doggy coin and a handshake. You losers can keep your degrees.
Remember, beautiful. A detonation has just occurred on the outer ring of the city.
Do that one with the theme of Armageddon is coming. Crazy, right?
Bombs. Boom. Tasty booms. Yeah, that shit is insane. Yeah, that Google AI one is wild. I'm going through the comments real quick.
Mm-hmm. Says, oh my God, the cops might be able to fake body cam footage if they shoot it on a black man. Yes.
Hey, yo, nah, Armageddon will be streamed.
Yeah, give it a couple of months and Hollywood writers and those prompts will be smooth. Exactly. That's something also to look forward to, that this is going to be used and laying off a lot of people. That's the reason why they say AI is coming for people's jobs. So let me stop sharing that one. And now to tie into one last clip to get into. And it's kind of odd, some of the wording that was using. I'm not going to say odd, it's just interesting. I'll say interesting. So this is that clip that I was talking about before. They had a interview with Piers Morgan debating UK Israeli spokeswoman, Dirty Hot and Smelly.
Sticky bomb. Oh, I call her sticky bombs.
Let's call her Hot and Smelly mainly. Her name is like Hipti Hoptavelli, but what if some shit like that? And I'm like, I just call her Dirty Hot and Smelly.
And you know
it's got nothing to do with you, the risk to journalists.
It's
not your problem.
From my point of view,
it's not your problem.
Once there is no risk to their life, I'm sure
what
they'll
a
be
load
allowed
of
to get in.
flannel, Ambassador. Don't treat us like idiots, please. We're not idiots. You're not doing it for our safety. You've banned the journalists so that they don't report on what is actually happening. Only you know why you're doing that. I don't know. Maybe you're doing everything completely fairly. Maybe it is the most moral war ever waged in history, as you keep saying. But the longer it goes on, Without you allowing journalists in, the less people believe that, and the more people believe you have something to hide.
We are coming to the point where
And she said they're coming to the point where journalists will be allowed into Gaza to see for themselves what is going on.
What kind of journalists?
Well, right now they only allow journalists to come in if the IDF can show you around on a guided tour.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like how Korea does theirs and shit.
Yeah, it's very, very North Korea-like. But I mean, if you guys watch that interview, there's so many things that I wish that I could hop in on a platform like that and be able to speak back, because Pierce stayed on one question. He asked us one question 17 times. He said, why is it that you supposedly have a number for how many Taliban, I mean, not Taliban, but how many Hamas, with, they say with the extra spit. Hamas, you know how many Hamas you killed, but you don't know how many children. And she's like, because we target Hamas, we don't count the numbers of what we don't target. And then I would have said, okay, so yeah, I get that you count the numbers of who you target, but you don't count the collateral damage that you did. You don't count if like police officers in America, though they can get away with a whole lot, they couldn't walk into a bank where there's hostages and say, well, we took out the hostage. Okay, but what about the 5 people that you killed? You can't just not count them.
Well, it's like they took out the criminal and killed the hostages too.
Yeah, and that's what she's like completely avoiding. You guys don't count the number of the innocent victims that you kill?
Nah. Apples to oranges.
And I mean, he kept asking, he's like, why is it that you know one number and you don't know the other number? And
apples and oranges.
I would say,
and that's how she answered it too. Apples and oranges.
And I would say, I would say, this is where you're giving them the benefit of the doubt that they don't know the number. They know exactly what the number is. I believe that they know exactly how many people that they kill. Well, I won't say exactly, because it's hard to know. Well, let me take that back. I think that their numbers, they probably know to a certain degree pretty accurately, because they have all the cell phones and stuff of all the people there. So they're able to track them through the towers. How many people are in these buildings when they down whole entire buildings? So they know the potential amount of people that they could have taken out. So if they know there's 2 supposed terrorists in this building, and there's another 150 people in that building, and if it's believed that everybody in that building died, then you killed 150 people. That's not hard to figure out how many that you took out.
It is if you're just not trying to do it.
No, what it is you don't want to give the number. You know what the number is. You just are lying about what that number is. Now, I believe that she probably intentionally doesn't ask the number because she doesn't want to know the number. It makes it. Don't know the number. So why find out a number I could know and give something this is going to make us look bad? Also, another thing that what he needs to start shutting down, like he shut her down on trying to call this blood libel crap. Another thing they need to start shutting them the fuck down on. Every time they say human shield, there's no such thing as, the human shield argument is nonsense. It's BS. Because just because somebody used a human shield doesn't mean you need to shoot through them. It means you need to figure out another way to do things. And if you were shooting through these people, then you're responsible. You can't say, they had a hostage. Okay, you don't shoot the hostage. Period. I don't know. That's a couple of things that I wanted to bring up about that interview. I thought about like possibly going through it and just critiquing it as a whole, and all the pushback points that he should. But those are my two biggest takeaways from dealing with these Israeli genocide defenders. There's two things. This whole the whole human shields nonsense is bullshit, and the fact that they don't know how many innocent people they're killing. And I would argue that they probably legitimately in their mind have this kind of conundrum. They say, well, we didn't kill any innocent people, because in their mind, they don't believe any Palestinians are innocent.
Facts.
So in their mind, they technically didn't kill any innocent people, because if they feel everybody is guilty, even
Well, they're gonna downplay the numbers anyway, so they don't look crazy for killing people in the first place, you know? So like they're gonna scrutinize the numbers and you know, say that, you know, a couple of dogs maybe. I mean, it's literally a numbers game. So if the numbers are low on their side and they up the Israeli numbers, you're gonna sympathize with the bigger number, and they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They're just trying to figure out how much longer can we lie and run out the clock before this shit starts to catch up with us.
Motherfuckers been lying since the dawn of time, big dog. Remember Eve lied to God and said she didn't eat the apple.
No, I don't believe.
Ooh,
Well,
that was deep. Sorry, that was deep as hell. My apologies.
Oh shoot. Here, and I guess that's all I have. Y'all got any questions y'all want to hop in and start asking too? Y'all can do so at this time. Ooh, if her signal holds up. Because I know she's on the road right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Rondo. They do think we're saying Negroes.
Yeah, that they definitely do. And what he said about Goyim, they do believe that. But that's not what the definition of Goyim actually means. Goyim just means nations. Yeah, I mean that's all I really got for this stream. I mean, since I'm glitching out bad, Till's kind of glitching out, and it looks like Savvy has her stream going. We might as well kind of cut this one, and you know, the agent won today.
Dog, he been on a roll, to be honest. He's been on a roll in my life. Told you. Last 2 weeks have been crazy. Steve told me I just need to get a new router.
Yeah. That's possible.
Yeah.
But
I'm just gonna get it.
Yeah, I guess on that note, we can go on ahead and kind of end it. It's a good segment, and we got everything that we needed to.
Thanks, y'all, for pulling up, tuning in. Come check us out next week.
Yeah, I have no comment on that last one because Savvy is a friend. I definitely watch Savvy's show. And Ryan, I consider him, you know, a good colleague, and I definitely love T-Lab's show. So both are great. Go out there, support them both. And this has been the Political Matrix. I'm Marcus Morpheus Cage here with Miss Voodoo herself. And I got a couple things I'm working on, videos and stuff that I'll probably release as soon as I get them done. But until then, y'all have a great and wonderful weekend. We will see y'all again later.
There is discrimination in this world, and slavery and slaughter and starvation. Governments repress their people. Millions are trapped in poverty, while the nation grows rich, and wealth is lavished on armaments everywhere. These are differing evils, but they are the common works of man. They reflect the imperfection of human justice, the inadequacy of human compassion, our lack of sensibility towards the suffering of our fellows. But we can perhaps remember, even if only for a time, those who live with us are our brothers, that they share with us the same short moment of life, that they seek as we do, nothing but the chance to live out their lives in purpose and happiness, winning what satisfaction and fulfillment they can.